What's up, everybody? I'm gonna do this one more again because I've been trying to make this video but I keep getting distracted. I keep getting interruptions. But anyways, I wanted to discuss something that's kind of close to my heart. I have a brother who has been suffering from mental illness for as long as I can remember. And he went missing a few days ago. He was at a hospital, and the hospital just discharged him, gave him a bus pass, and sent him on his way. They called his group home where he lives after the fact, but for 2 days he was just missing. Didn't know where he was. My sister went looking for him. We went looking for like places where he could be. He was no trace of him. It was yesterday where I was driving out of town. I saw him at a bus stop panhandling, and it broke my heart because he was so frail, and it was hot outside, so he was out there in that sun, probably hungry. Well, not probably, I know he was famished. Probably didn't eat anything in like 2 days. So I quickly, I was on a route. I had a nice little route. I turned around to get him, and I went, I brought him to his group home, and I stopped and got him something to eat. And it hurt me because the neglect that the hospital, the negligence on their part is obvious. Is absolutely obvious. They usually, when a mentally ill patient comes to the hospital or to the ER, what they usually do is detain them for 72 hours. And during that 72 hours, they're like maybe in a little ward area where they keep where they keep them. I forgot the name that they call them. I forgot. It slipped my mind. But it's usually the patients who are, mentally ill, what have you. They keep them in an area, a certain area, what have you, and they're monitored. But at the same time, you have case management, social workers trying to find placement for this patient. If the patient inflicts harm to himself or themselves or others, then they, bring them to the hospital to find placement at a psychiatric facility. But that didn't happen this time. And the type of illness my brother has, he has paranoid schizophrenia. Sometimes it causes someone to become very irate, and which is why we had to put him in a group home anyway, because he became very unbearable to the point where he was fighting us. He was fighting my mom, and it just came to the point where my mom couldn't take it anymore, so she had to place him in a home. And the fact that the hospital treated him this way, it's just beyond. It's totally beyond me. We have a responsibility as medical professionals to treat people with compassion, not just treat the illness or the condition and send them on their way. We're supposed to do it with care. We're supposed to do it with love and with empathy. And none of that was done. And it's an occurrence that's going on all the time. I see patients, they come in to be committed, and they're treated like crap while they're there the whole entire time. I'm not saying every medical professional does it, but some of them do. And no patient should be able to tolerate or should tolerate being treated a certain way. I think it's disgusting. I think it's inhumane. And it really doesn't affect the person until it hits home. Like, if it happens, they won't feel anything or feel some type of way unless it happened to someone they know, or someone, they're a family member of theirs, or, you know, and it shouldn't be that way. And I know there were a lot of mental health centers, a lot of hospitals, were shut down because of budget cuts. I can remember Big Charity, had a floor, we call it the third floor, where it was pretty much designated for people who, were mentally ill. And they don't have places like that anymore. They closed Big Charity down right after Katrina. And they don't much have, like, facilities anymore. They're filled to capacity. And I just think it's so sad that we have so many people who, instead of going to a mental health facility or rehab, they're being put in jail. These people don't have, they're not criminals. They don't have a criminal record. They just have bipolar disorder, or they have schizophrenia, or they have things, you know, just different behavioral disorders that needs medical attention. They don't need to be arrested. They don't need to be put in jail. They need medical attention. They need to be put in a facility. And it's just so sad the way America, in comparison to other countries, and I'm not talking about every country, because I don't know how they treat them in India or in China, but I know there are countries that have programs, that have facilities, that cater to, patients who have these mental illnesses. And at one time, I can remember, a lot of facilities being open, especially out here where I live, that are now closed. And I just couldn't imagine my poor brother being out there just walking, roaming the streets with nothing but a scrub shirt on. I wouldn't even say a shirt, I would say a scrub top and some dingy jeans and socks that he got from the hospital. And I'm pretty sure they ran the bill so high on him, they didn't give him the care that he needed, or didn't even go through protocol like they were supposed to. They just gave my brother a bus pass and went on his way. Nobody should be treated that way. Nobody. And it disgusts me to know that people are going through this every day. And I've eyewitnessed the treatment of these patients by medical staff, by nurses, people who are trained, who went to school and took an oath to treat every patient with compassion, to give them the best quality care possible. And they don't ever do it. They rarely do it. And that needs to stop. We need to become more compassionate as people. That's why I got in healthcare. That's why I wanted to, I went to school and getting a degree in healthcare, because I want to be the change I want to see. I want to start making that change. I want to be one of the people to put an end to the mistreating of patients. And I want to start leading. I want to be a leader by example. I want to be exemplary in my efforts in caring for people. So that was pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank God my brother, was found. Nothing was wrong. He was still healthy. When he saw me, he told me he loved me. One thing about this illness, you can become very irate. It makes you very irate, but then you turn around, you can become very very loving and sweet person. You know, it's just mood changing. It's really crazy. But I'm glad that he was fine. I'm glad he was okay. And I'm glad I was able to give him something to eat and take him back to his group home where he is now. And as my brother, I'm going to make sure I make sure I do my responsibility. I obligate myself to making sure he's okay. I'm checking on him and bringing him food every now and then, or what have you. You know, doing my part. You know, because I don't want to sit up here and be talking about how other people should treat mentally ill patients, and I'm not doing the same. That's called being a hypocrite, and I'm too 100 for that. You know, people that know me know, you know, I live strongly by my convictions, and I'm pretty much an honest person. So I'm going to do my part as well. But I hope this encourages somebody just to treat people better, treat people right. You never know what could happen to you. My brother was on his way to the Army. He wanted to go to the Navy after high school, and something happened and changed his life forever. You don't know what could happen. So just always stay humble, always treat people right, always have compassion in your heart for somebody. See somebody on the streets hungry, give them some change, or better yet, go somewhere, give them something to eat, pay for their food or something. I mean, just it helps, y'all. It helps, and it put an extra jewel on your crown. You understand? So I know I've been coming with some deep videos lately, but but I promise to get some more, you know, videos that are a little bit more jovial, not as deep, you know, as the ones I've been putting up. So those who are watching, thank you for watching. And hope you guys continue to stay blessed, continue to stay highly favored. All right. Peace.